So what is a circle and why would we even do it? I've started to think about a circle as a room of our own. And so that's a term from Virginia Woolf, right? She spoke of the necessity for women to have space, like to have our own room, to have intellectual freedom and creative freedom. This idea of a woman having a room of her own is kind of expanded out now to the circle, and the circle is that room, but instead of the walls of the room, it's made of people, and it's built of presence and listening and care, because it's all very nice to have that solitude for creative space and for that freedom of intellectual thinking, and we need our people and we need connection. And so that's kind of what I'm always thinking about with circle now. It's like, how do I create spaces where women can sort of move away and have some of that space, right? That own personal space, and feel connected too, because we all are already so isolated in the way that we live. We don't need to lock ourselves away in a room and never see anybody. But sometimes we need to lock ourselves in a room away from the people that we see most. Yeah. So that's the balance that we're looking for. And that's totally normal because we're not supposed to just be surrounded by the same four or five people or one person or whatever all the time. And the good thing about a circle is that there's no hierarchy. No one sits at the top. Like often there's a facilitator or a leader that's kind of holding and containing that space and doing some direction. And we're all equal. And we meet each other eye to eye, heart to heart. And I think it's one of the few places that we have left where women can come without having to perform or compete or prove ourselves in any way, right? We just show up. And I fucking love online circles because you don't even have to leave your house. You can if you want to, if that's part of the space you need, but you can just literally open up your phone or your computer, get your blankie and your cup of tea, and here we are in circle. And like, what is the magic of that? It's so great. That being able to have space away from everything is so important because most women are stretched thin already, right? I'm sure you all can understand this. That rushing to keep up with all the systems that don't honor our bodies, don't honor our cycles, we actually have to take some action to create the space so that we can the have our needs met in a way that honors all of our rhythms and all of our cycles. We all have our own rhythm. We need our own space. We want that creative and intellectual freedom, and we want connection. So here in these circles, we're practicing rhythm, but we're also practicing belonging, and we're practicing remembering that our worth isn't measured by what we produce, but by who we actually are. And often I think we find who we are through relationship. We find it through the witnessing of others, through the mirroring, like hearing someone else say something and thinking, oh, yes, that's my story too. That's one of the most powerful parts of circle. So circle is kind of like a way to practice a way of being that might not be as easy in your everyday life, but when you come here and it's contained and it's like, okay, we're all here for the same purpose, it feels really good. It feels really easy. And then after we do that for a while, hopefully that starts to filter out. That starts to become more of your everyday life and practices as well. Or if it's not, at least you've got somewhere to come, right? And we gather under the moon or we gather for the seasons because these are the things that shape the actual world around us, not the system world, but the actual world, the real living world. So they're ways to anchor ourselves as we keep moving through the cycles of life and of the year.